Praise the Lord, saints. This is Elder Adrian Heyman. This is going on pretty late in the afternoon. Waiting for Sister Heyman's dialysis to end. I'm in the back of the building. Sorry about that. I'm in the back of the building. It's been a tough day. Not necessarily for me, but for her. Not that she's going to the hospital or anything like that. But she has been in some pain today. And I've tried to be there to know that she's not by herself, try to resolve what the pain is. And you know, sometimes I can do it, and sometimes I cannot. And I don't mean just being able to resolve the issue, but to even know what the issue is. Well, you see, when someone has aphasia, which is what she has as a result of her stroke, it leaves you largely unable to communicate, at least in the way that we would normally do, by voice, by saying words. Every so often she can say a word, and I know it's in her. But I also know that with everything that she wants to say, she tries to spell it out, and she can't. Inevitably that would frustrate her. So I tell her, don't even worry about it. We'll try it later. But I'm glad you tried to speak. But today it was mainly just for me to try to figure out what's going on and to be able to help resolve it. As with anything, I hate it when I hear her cry. And being that she's in a relatively helpless position, she cries more. She's cried more in these last 2 years than I've ever heard her in our almost 40 years of marriage. And I remember just not long ago, whereas that would make me very sad and dejected. I can't stop her pain. I can't stop her tears. I can't stop her from having to go to the ER. I can't stop her from having to be admitted. And then you start wondering, well, what am I doing right? And that had been a battle. I'll let you know, saints, that has been a constant battle throughout these 2 years. And it's been a little now, it's been almost a little more than 2 years. 2 years and 2 days since she had her stroke and all the other things that she's already had to deal with. Does it hurt? Yeah. It hurts me to see her hurt. It hurts me that she can't say what she wants to say. She can't do what she wants to do. Sometimes you wonder if this existence is even worth it for her. But the Lord reminds me that it's not for me to resolve this. It's up to God himself, and he'll know when to take her away. And at that point, I'm sure I'll be at a place where I'll be content. Sad, yes, but content. But this is not the day to do that. I'm not going that direction, really. Right now, she's in dialysis. We've had to deal with the pain that she had during her first 2 hours. And usually what we do is we would see how she goes during the first 2 hours, try to see if she can make it through those first 2 hours. Then give her a good dose of Benadryl. That'll cause her to relax and go to sleep without having to think about the pain. And that's exactly what we did. The game plan was to give her some Benadryl at the 2 hour mark. Hopefully that would last her for the other 2 hours, the next 2 hours right now. We're in the third hour, almost coming to the last hour. And she fell asleep. She felt more at peace than she has during her time here. So the day may not have been great for her, but it's turning out to be okay now. As I said, there have been times where I had thought that since I'm doing nothing, I'm messing up, I don't even deserve to be her caregiver. But then the Lord gives me strength, and He gives me knowledge, and He gives me the ability to actually take care of her. And if I don't have that, then they have some others who I've been able to have come in at certain times to help take care of her. I remember when I was younger, I used to think about being a scientist. That's what my major was in. My major was physics. When I really couldn't get a job in that particular venue, I went over to accounting and finance. And that's where I ended up going. I remember sometimes being frustrated because I didn't go where I thought I was going to go. But the Lord put me in these positions for a purpose, for a reason. And it's during your later stages that you begin to look back and realize this is what the Lord has prepared you for. Now you see why I did what I did. Now I see why I had you retire when you retired. Because I knew that my daughter was going to need your help. And so, no matter what happens, tag, you're it. And I'm going to give you the strength to do it. But you're going to have to do it. And I have no problems with that, saints. I don't have any problems with making sure that she's taken care of. And then making sure that we have enough money, the house is taken care of, the utilities, and the food is being received, and everything that it takes to take over a household while you are taking care of somebody intensely. And do I make mistakes? Of course I do. But I don't damn myself to hell anymore because of it. Yeah, I used to do that. It would hurt me so bad that I felt that I did not deserve to. But then that was Satan coming in to destroy both me and her, knowing that I'm the one who is the most responsible for keeping her alive, actually. And the Lord has used me to help do that. So, I learned to switch the procedures for her taking insulin. That was an issue at first, but I've been doing pretty good with that. Not pat myself on the back, but saying that's what's been taking place. I learned how to count carbs with food, knowing that carbs would mean that but the body, of course, will always use the sugar first. But then you have the carbs that have to be converted to sugars. And the more complex the carbohydrates are, the longer it takes for it to convert. But if you don't have any insulin in your system, now that becomes in your blood. That's excess sugar now. So I had to learn all that. And then see which foods would damage her and which foods would actually help her. And if I want to give her some vegetables, vegetables are good. But some do contain a lot of carbs. All these things I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. Learn to make sure that I clean her. She can't clean herself. So I'm not going to let her sit in the bed and watch the natural processes go and overwhelm her, and then she gets sick on that. No. I have to take care of her. I have to do what I need to do. Change her pull-ups, change her pads, change her clothes. And it's okay. Sometimes it's once a day, sometimes it's 2, 3, 4 times. Whatever it is, whatever it takes. I haven't learned to cook yet, but I know now which foods to get her. She doesn't like every food. Not every food is good for her. So I have to balance. I have to balance it. To make sure that she's breathing correctly, because her breathing has been compromised at certain times. And I have to make sure she sits up in bed when she does eat her food, so nothing goes down the wrong pipe to cause her additional issues like pneumonia. I have to make sure she takes her medicines on time. She has certain medicines that I would give to her. She crunches her medicine, which would freak me out at first. But I started seeing, you know what, it's going to the same place. It's fine. And so I let her crunch her medicines. But then I've had to figure out a way to let her, if it's a capsule, that usually mean it's time release. I can't have her spit out that. So I give her capsules. But I tell her, wash down, wash down, wash down. Sometimes she doesn't listen to that, but most of the time she does. And she washes the capsules down. She has to take other medicines by liquid. Some stuff is extremely nasty. And I just I understand. Remember having to take medicine when I was in the hospital myself, and you could refuse it. They have it there and you have to take it. However it was. And it's okay. I learned to be someone that if she gets upset, I try to figure out why. Maybe she needs to turn. Because I found out that if she stays on the bed for too long in one spot, she's very susceptible to bed sores. I have to prevent that. When she gets ready for dialysis, I have to make sure that if I don't want her to scream as they're putting the needle into her fistula, which is a raised area on her right arm, where she has to be able to receive 2 needles, one for an artery, one for a vein. They've both been specifically and specially prepared for this procedure. But if I don't want her to scream, they have to remember to put lidocaine on that part, wrap it up with plastic wrap so it can soak into her skin. So when they insert the needle, it doesn't hurt. That's sort of like, I guess I've become a little bit anesthesiologist. But you have to do all these type of things. Watch your feet. Watch your legs. Is there any swelling? You gotta get that fluid out. Right now, is she's crying just because she wants because she's hungry. To remind her it's 5 o'clock in the morning. This is not the time to eat. Or 6 o'clock in the morning. Have it hold until 8. Invariably she does. And know that if she gets mad at something, then she will say things that normally she wouldn't say. If she gets mad, and she does get mad, I've learned not to go back and forth, because that doesn't make any sense with someone who, again, she knows exactly what she's thinking. She knows exactly what's going on. She knows exactly what I'm saying. So it's not as though she has no idea that she has the mind of a baby. She doesn't. But her emotions do swing. Why? Do swing from one end to the other. I have to know that as well, so I can speak softly to her. I can speak encouragement to her. I can tell her that I love her and mean it. And when to back off. Maybe she doesn't want to take the medicines right at this particular moment. I find out that if I just wait 10 to 15 minutes, circumstances have changed. I can give her medicine now. So you learn, I've learned her all over again. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not complaining with all this at all. Believe me, I'm not complaining about this. If I had to do this all over again, to be with her, I'm going to do it all over again. I am very sure of that. Because the Lord has taught me so many things through this treatment. I'm not as big as I thought I was, number one. But also that I could gain a lot more patience just from my dealings with her. That I look at different things, different avenues, different methods of doing things if it causes the same result that I need to have at the end. And then more so, it's not about me anymore. It's not about what I want. It's not about what I need to get. It's about how can I make sure that my lovely one is taken care of. That she can continue to remember things. Maybe she might talk a word or two. Maybe she'll move her hand. Maybe eventually she might even move her arm. Don't know. People said stranger things have happened, and God can do all things. Is so that she can at least stand up for a little bit of time. For me to transfer her from the bed to a wheelchair or to whatever. And my back will get to the point where I can probably do it again, but this time make sure that I obey all of the rules regarding lifting. Means bend my legs. Make sure my legs are bent. The weight goes in the legs, not in my back. Maybe I have to put the bed up a little bit so I can not put so much strain on my back when I am going to change her. These little things that I have to understand. And the Lord has given me the opportunity to learn those things. And maybe, because I know we're going to get back to being in the presence of the saints of God, and going to church, all that I will have learned something very important. That I'm not the same person coming back that I was when I had to do a hiatus. That I'm not so fearful. I'm not so anxiety-ridden. But I know the Lord's going to make a way somehow. Because he always does. Every single day. And I thank God for giving me, Lord, I thank you for giving me that knowledge, that now I have. I can tell the caregivers, do this, do that. Make sure this is going on, because I know what to do. So I can tell them, but do it in a way that is not off-putting them either. Again, you're learning patience, not just with Sister Heyman, but with everybody. So, keep praying, because I will always need your prayers. And definitely Sister Heyman needs your prayers. But before these flies attack me, I would like to say one last verse to end this session. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Doesn't matter how the day was at first, but this is the day that the Lord has made. And there is victory in completing each day. God bless you. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Pastor Johnson, I see you, man. Take care of yourself. In Jesus' name.